What's up, guys? I'm CJ, and I'm here with Mike and Richard, and we want to bring you an episode of Superhero Sundays, where we get into WandaVision, we get into some of the future Disney Plus shows for Marvel, and of course, we're going to reveal the winner of the Real Life Hero Award. So, with all that said, roll the intro. So, WandaVision, it was crazy. I mean, I didn't expect any of what I saw in the first two episodes. It kind of reminded me of like all the old school shows, like Bewitched, some of the I Love Lucy, all those old shows like that with the innocent comedy. But then it kind of combined, Marvel and action and comic. It kind of reminded me of this show, how we combine two things. We're combining comics and action movies, along with serving people and being a light and bringing positivity into the world. So I thought it was really cool. I actually enjoyed the first two episodes. What about you guys? Mike, what did you think of WandaVision?
It's definitely something really different. It's not something that you normally get from Marvel, but it still gives you little hints of what's probably to come in the Phase 4 movies and TV shows that's coming out. So it's definitely different, but yet still familiar at the same time.
Yeah.
It also kind of keeps you captivated too, because you're just like sitting there and like you're waiting to see what's happening, but they're throwing small tidbits at you of, like you said, of what's to come, right? Because we all seen the trailer already, and we already know that there's something coming up more.
Yeah.
So it's just it's drawing you in, but you still have so many question marks.
Exactly. Everybody, I think, that watched it had a lot of question marks, and even Mike, after he watched it, he was texting me or texting us like, "What? I'm so confused. Like, what is this?" And I feel like everybody felt that way. They're just kind of confused, but at the same time, they still enjoyed it. Like Richard said, they still captivated you because you want more and you want to know what the actual storyline, the plot, what's going to come next. But yeah. Again, I had those vibes of I Love Lucy, even Pleasantville. I don't know if you've seen that movie. It had that vibe too of black and white, but then at the same time, certain things would be in color. So I thought that was pretty cool. What do you think about that, Mike, of those kind of old school vibes? And
so those classic TV shows like Dick Van Dyke, I Love Lucy, Bewitched, and then it gave you almost like a Truman Show feel.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, because it's in one of the Easter eggs, you can see somebody watching the TV or somebody saying, "Hey, it's the star of the show," kind of like giving you that vibe where they kind of know that they're stuck in this little thing that's going on, but deep down they want to stay in it, or they're the ones manipulating it. So
that's true. That scene with that old lady, with the boss and the wife, She was like, when the boss started choking, she's like, stop it, like she's trying to ask for help, but she can't really ask for help.
Yeah, because it wasn't part of the script.
Yeah,
like the reality of what they wanted to happen, it just happened.
Yeah.
And it kind of like did a disruption of the whole reality. Mm-hmm. So that's why she was almost like stuck in a loop.
Yeah.
Kept asking for help, but doesn't know what else to do. Not until Wanda actually told Vision, which, if you remember, he's a superhero. You would think he would jump right at helping this person that's choking.
Yeah.
Even he was just standing there until Wanda goes, Vision, help him.
Yeah.
And literally kind of directs him to help the husband from choking. So,
yeah. And that was just episode 1. I mean, Rich, what do you think of episode 1 when you first saw it? Were you like, what? Like, I don't understand what the heck is going on right now. And how did you feel about episode 1?
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing. I mean, I know you guys threw out some, examples of I Love Lucy. I got that feeling of I Dream of Jeannie, right? because you
Yeah.
definitely had that because they're still using their superpowers during the show, so they know they have their capabilities. They still don't know what where they're at or what they're doing. And yeah, they don't even know that they're not married, or are they married, right?
Yeah.
So they couldn't even like answer that.
Actually, I kind of want to get into the past or the origin stories of Wanda and Vision, because like I said, it seemed like in the show they couldn't remember if they were married or what they're doing there. Isn't Wanda like she's like a mutant, right, Mike? Isn't she a mutant?
So when these movies first came out, by these movies I meant like Age of Ultron, Disney didn't own Fox yet, so they couldn't say the word mutant.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
They called them enhanced.
Wow.
Is what they called them. So they couldn't really call them mutants. And they got their powers through the Mind Stone in the movie. And as you know, with X-Men, they're just, they evolution. But in the MCU, they're enhanced from the actual Mind Stone. So
I know Wanda, like I say, is from Age of Ultron, and she had a brother too, right?
yeah, Pietro, I believe his name. He's Quicksilver.
That's right.
In the MCU, they're just twins. They don't tell you who their parents are, but Magneto's their father in the comic books. So in the comic books, it's Magneto's twins, but in this one, they're just twins. Their parents got killed by a rogue missile from the Stark Industries that murdered them. That's what started their hatred for Tony Stark. But they don't tell you who their parents were. They just tell you, they're twins. They got enhanced from the Mind Stone, and that's about it.
Yeah. Man, with Wanda, like thinking about her origin story and the brother and the parents being killed, because the brother got killed too in Age of Ultron. She has gone through like a lot of trauma. Like she's lost a lot of people in her life, and I kind of think that this plot of WandaVision, this is me. Maybe I'm jumping ahead, but I think she's lost so much that she wants to hold on, because we know Vision Vision died in Endgame, and so I think she wants him so bad that I think she did something bad to bring him back. And
not to correct you, but it was Infinity War. He died in Infinity War.
My bad. He died in Infinity War, and I think that she wanted him back. So I think she did something bad to bring him back, so she can hold on to him and be a couple. Because they never got to really be a couple. Because once they got kind of settled, they had to go back to fighting and get into the war, and so they never got to enjoy their time together. And I think she wanted that so bad that she did something that she wasn't supposed to do to bring him back. And so, that's just my thoughts on that. What's Vision's background? Because he used to be Tony Stark's, not butler, but his like a computer, right, Mike? Or
AI, and artificial intelligence for the house.
Yes. And then in Age of Ultron too.
Mm-hmm.
He came alive from the Infinity Stone, and now thinking about it, Age of Ultron was like kind of a crucial movie because of all the events that happened in that movie. He kind of catapulted everything to where we're at now. Let's go into some of the Easter eggs and some of the hidden gems within the movie. Richard, what are some of the things that you noticed?
Another thing, and I don't know, I don't know if it means anything, but something that caught my eye is when Wanda came outside, she saw the little drone helicopter, right? Yeah. So she's picking it up, and there's a little symbol on it with like a sword and a circle. I don't know what that means, but I noted it down.
Yeah, Mike, what do you think that means? Did that symbol mean anything?
Yes, it does. It they kind of hinted at, I believe, in Far From Home, the Spider-Man at the end of the end credits, where you saw Nick Fury out in space on a ship with a bunch of crows. Though that it's called SWORD. You know how SHIELD is an acronym, SWORD is another acronym. It's Sentient Weapon Observation Response Division. So they, instead of monitoring stuff like on Earth, like SHIELD did, SWORD monitors and goes after cosmic crisis or issues that might come up in the future for Earth.
Does that kind of hint at like what's going on is something out of this world, basically?
Cosmic level threats like Thanos. They basically focus on that. If you actually looked at it or look at it again, that beekeeper on his back, he also had the SWORD logo.
Wow. You notice that, Richard?
Nope.
I did notice that.
That SWORD logo
I was
a couple of times.
I'm sitting there still like, what the hell is going on? And then they threw it back in reverse, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, and that's weird too. Is like, how can Wanda have the power to reverse things? Go ahead, Mike. What's your theory on that?
She's the one that actually did this, but I don't think she subconsciously knows to what extent she's done it. I think she's aware. She's fully control of what's going on. As you can see, as she rewinded time.
Yeah.
And has powers to do, direct people when things are not going well, but I don't think she understands fully what she's doing. She knows what she's doing, but then she doesn't. She knows that she's making this, reality for herself, but she doesn't know of what extent of what she's doing to the people around her and what she might be causing as a more of a big picture type of thing.
What else, Mike? I know you have so many other notes that we didn't see.
Go down your list, bro.
Yeah,
Go down your list.
Go down. Right off the bat, one of the first things that you notice, or I guess I noticed, but that intro for Marvel, it's all updated with Endgame stuff, so you get to see a lot of the new scenes. When it shows the different scenes in the Marvel logo, that's all updated with all Infinity War and Endgame clips. And then it also transitions to black and white, which is going to show the transition into the show because, it starts off black and white. And I think I even read somewhere that Dick Van Dyke, that's the reason why I brought that up, because that intro of them, driving into the town of Westview, it's actually taken that whole scene, that whole intro, just like episode 2's with Bewitched.
Yeah.
The whole intro is taken from Dick Van Dyke Show. One of the very first lines, it's very like gut-wrenching, but only if you really think about it. So when you first see Wanda clean dishes and stuff like that, and she hits or accidentally hits Vision in the head with a plate, he says, "Oh, my wife with flying saucers," and then she goes, "Oh, my husband with the indestructible head." Now, if you remember in Infinity Wars, that's how he died.
Yeah, that pulled out the stone.
Yeah.
Off the head, right?
Well, the fact that she said that is like, really?
Like she intentionally said it.
Yeah. So that's why kind of little things hints like she is aware of the past, but she doesn't want to really, understand. Right. He's not there. He's dead. And then this is the first time you see Agnes, who everybody loves, the nosy next door neighbor. Yeah. She actually plays a character called Agatha Harkness. Agatha Harkness. She is actually a witch, who is helps out a lot of with Wanda and her upbringing, but also is tied to Mephisto, which is the Marvel's version of the devil type of thing. So that's why a lot of people think that Mephisto is going to be like the overall villain for Phase 4, because there's a lot of little hints here and there that she gives that it's him that's doing the pulling of the strings, or either taking advantage of what Wanda's doing and using it for his benefit. You guys also brought up the commercials. The commercials were actually what I think, CJ, you hitting on the head about her past trauma. If you really look at the first commercial, which is the toaster oven, there's a logo Stark Industries on the right-hand corner of it.
Yeah.
And that's the first time you actually see color on the show. The little red light comes on, right? And as soon as the red light comes on, you actually hear that noise that Tony Stark's repulsor of his hand.
Oh wow!
Hear that. So if you pay attention. I had my volume up high. You can hear that noise.
Yeah.
Tony Stark's repulsor thing, which also puts up the whole thing about Tony Stark and his father, because his father made a bunch of things for new generation of household items. And then you also see that light starts flickering faster and faster and starts ticking like a time bomb.
Wow.
Which, as we talked about trauma in her past, and I spoke about it as well, is that what killed her parents?
A bomb.
A bomb made by Tony Stark, right? And it ticked like a bomb. And I think that each of these commercials are going to be her past trauma. And even in the tagline of the commercial, it says, forget about your past, this is your future. That's the tagline of that commercial. Forget about your past, this is your future.
But episode 2, what Easter eggs did you see, Mike? I didn't see.
So as I said in the beginning of the first episode, they did the Dick Van Dyke Show. The second episode, they did Bewitched. As you saw, the show was Bewitched. But when you first see them, you see them in bed, right? With 2 beds, and then they go to 1 bed. But there's noises outside. That was the whole thing. And Vision talked about how the Neighborhood Watch has seen some unwanted visitors settling into the neighborhood. Which I think that, because honestly, I think everybody in this reality is there, but has no idea how they got there or what's going on. They're just going through whatever script or whatever thing that Wanda's making them do.
Yeah.
So they think, when they say unwanted people are coming and settling, I think that they're talking about SWORD, that they're trying to infiltrate the reality and trying to figure out what's going on. And even in where they went into that conference for the talent show with Dottie, because everybody talked about how Dottie's like this unruling person. And one of the things said the talent show is for the children. And then everybody in unison said, for the children. Almost like some kind of chanting or some kind of cult-like thing. So again, pointing to, cultish witch, chanting type of thing where they want children. What my theory is, this is going to go into the for the children. I think it's more of them talking about mutants.
Yeah.
Because in all the mutant movies, in the beginning, they talk about the mutants are the children of the atom.
That's like I said, another hour to go into that, because there's so many details that you can put in, they put into the show, and they do it so well. That's why I like Marvel so much, because they do. Their writing is always on point, and everything is always connected somehow. It'll be 6-7 movies later, and everything is all connected, and it all flows all together. And how they take every single detail, every single scene, and they incorporate something that's going to connect to something in the future. I think that's amazing.
Just to piggyback off what you said, Marvel does something but plans ahead years in advance.
Yeah, like you said, I think there was an article that said they plan already till 2029. Crazy. That is so crazy.
Now that Disney owns Marvel, I mean, now you got the money and the production value of it, right? Because Disney owns half of everything behind the camera. Or in front of the camera.
DC, they try to do what they can, but Marvel, in my opinion, they're just so far ahead. But I know this year, 2021, they have so many other shows coming out, and I actually want to get into that. I know Richard has some information to share about some of the shows that are coming out for this year. WandaVision was just step 1, but they have other things already lined up. Rich, what are some of the things coming out for 2021 for Disney Plus?
There's several things going on. I mean, like you said, they're planning until 2029. Just to bullet point some of the more recent things that are coming out. You got the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right? So now you're taking that storyline, what their relationship's going to be like, without Captain America, right?
Yeah.
You got the new Loki show coming on. See where he disappeared to.
Exactly. Yeah.
You got Mrs. Marvel, and I think Mrs. Marvel, that's going to be a very interesting one, right? Because from what I understand, this is a character who is Eastern, like Pakistani, right? Middle East descent.
Yes.
Which that's something that you would never really contemplate unless like it's a Bollywood movie or something like that. But
Exactly.
to put it to mainline cinema, it should be very interesting because especially now with like those movement of breaking a barrier, right?
Yeah.
So you have a Pakistani superhero coming out. There's a new animated show coming out from Disney Plus, and it's called What If, all right? And the whole premise of this show, from what I'm understanding, it's like kind of taking all your Marvel characters and just kind of reshuffling them around into different Marvel characters situations, right?
Yeah.
So I think I saw a trailer. The trailer showed instead of Star-Lord's character, who we know as Chris Pratt on Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
It's switched up with
Black Panther.
Black Panther.
T'Challa. It's switched up with T'Challa.
Yeah, Prince T'Challa. And then there's another one that I noticed. Captain America isn't
Rogers.
Steve Rogers, yeah. And instead of Steve Rogers, it's his girlfriend, Peggy. Right?
Oh, I didn't even know that's who it was. I just saw, a girl. For some reason, I thought it was Captain Marvel.
I had a feeling, yeah.
Yeah, but that makes sense for it to be Peggy, yeah.
And,
yeah, because she had the emblem of England's flag on her and things like that. So I am one for reimaginations. So that's definitely something I definitely would like to invest my time in and follow, and can't wait to talk about it later in the future.
For me, I'm actually really excited to see Falcon and the Winter Soldier because from what I heard, it's going to be actual movie, but it's broken up into 6 episodes. So I'm really excited about that because Winter Soldier was actually one of my favorite movies, Captain America, Winter Soldier. For me, it actually put Captain America trilogy, it kind of put it up there with Batman's Dark Knight trilogy because everybody loved, Batman Dark Knight. And but when Captain America came out with Winter Soldier, and then what's the third one called, Mike? Civil War. When he came out with Civil War, that just kind of upped that trilogy to on the same level as Batman Dark Knight. So I like the Winter Soldier a lot. So I'm excited to see what they do with the Falcon and Winter Soldier, and what's their chemistry and how their relationship is going to be, like Richard said. What about you, Mike? What are you excited?
I'm excited for the Loki show because it has implications for cosmic level things, time travel, different alternate universes, that sort of thing. So I want to see what the overall big scope is going to be.
Sure, there's going to be a bunch of Easter eggs in that basket.
Exactly. I mean, I think in all these shows coming out, there's going to be so many things that to look out for to try to put the timeline together and see what Marvel's going to do and how they're going to tie this into the future movies coming out. But WandaVision was great. It was entertaining. Definitely different. And also, you can see in WandaVision how things were so innocent, and all of a sudden, things start taking a turn. And that kind of reminds me of real life, how things were for us. The world was kind of innocent. Everybody was just going along with their own business. And then all of a sudden, boom, this pandemic hit, and things just started taking a dark turn. And things just went a way that no one ever really expected. And again, for this show, we want to recognize people who are actually fighting in these times and during the pandemic. And one of those fighters on the front line is Sarah Kite. and she's actually the recipient of our Real Life Hero Award. I've known Sarah since junior high. We went to the same junior high together. And she says that since she was a kid, she's always known that she wanted to be in the medical field. Whenever she was asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? She said she wants to be a doctor. So even as a kid, she's always had that heart to want to help people. Fast forward to the age of 22, she went to nursing school. She was inspired by her grandmother, who was a nurse. So she went to nursing school, she graduated, got her first position on a telemetry unit, where she kind of learned to grow as a nurse, a well-rounded nurse. And then she transferred to Vanderbilt in Tennessee, where she specialized in cardiology. And then she went back to school and got higher education. And she went to school to be a nurse practitioner. And now she actually is going to be starting her first job in a couple of weeks, working as a cardiology nurse practitioner. And so she just does tremendous work. So Sarah will be receiving a Royal Zealous care package, which consists of a drawstring bag, a gift card, and an ID badge holder with the comic hero on it. So again, congrats, Sarah. Continue to do what you're doing, continue to inspire people, and bring joy to your patients. And that ends our show for this week. Next week, we'll bring you another episode of Superhero Sundays. So don't forget to tune in. God bless you guys. Have a good night. If you like what you saw, you can help our cause by going to our website, royalzealous.com. You can scroll down and you'll see a donation section. We are grateful for anything that you can give, even if it's just a like or a thumbs up or a subscription to our YouTube channel. Truly, we are just really grateful and appreciative for anything and everything. So thank you. God bless, and live the royal life through Christ.